I'm Laura Trump, coming to you from Studio 45 at Trump Tower in New York City. With new attacks on people of faith, the Democrats are proving to be the party of religious bigotry and anti-Semitism. Joining me is the founder and president of the Exodus movement, Elizabeth Pipko. Elizabeth, welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Every time I think that the Democrats can't get any crazier or more ridiculous, they do.
They do.
And one of the most ridiculous of their crew, Representative Ilhan Omar, recently tweeted an anti-Semitic comment about Michael Bloomberg possibly getting into the race. What is your reaction to what she had to say?
Look, people tweet a lot of things. You never know what 3 words can mean, and there's been attacks coming at her on both sides, so I understand that things can be misconstrued on Twitter. However, when someone's been attacked the way they have for being anti-Semitic in the past, and unfortunately she deals with so much hate already coming her way, so she knows the repercussions from something like this, and that doesn't stop her from tweeting it. That's the problem, and I think people are going to see that as a real problem when they're going to vote in 2020, and they're actually just concerned about how divided we are as a country.
Just so everyone's clear, Michael Bloomberg got support from a billionaire, Jewish billionaire, and she tweeted, "Wonder why."
Yes.
I mean, can you imagine, Liz, if a Republican had said this sort of thing? It is crazy to me how she is still a member of Congress. As Republicans, we like keeping her there because she looks so bad for the Democrats. But why won't anyone from their party come out and say, hey, wait a minute, this lady does not represent what we're about? Why is it okay for her to do this? I don't understand. There seems to be such a double standard.
I think the problem is that now they're trying to out-left each other every day.
Yeah.
And the things that they're doing are just polar opposite Donald Trump. So whether he does something good or bad, they want to reverse it. So as long as it's the reverse of him, they seem to be okay with it.
Yeah, well, that's pretty accurate for sure when it comes to the president. Now, we know that the squad out there, of which Ilhan Omar is part of it, AOC is their ringleader. The squad recently endorsed Bernie.
Yes.
And I mean, I don't know about you, but I find it a little concerning that these women who represent such far left radical ideas have endorsed a candidate for president. What are your thoughts on that? Because I think to a lot of people, I certainly would not want their endorsement. If they wanted to endorse us, we would say no, thank you. What does this mean?
I mean, I take it really seriously, not only that they endorsed him, but that he willingly now is campaigning with them.
Yeah.
That's the scary part. They were banned. I think 2 of them were banned from Israel this year.
Right.
When you're banned from entering one of our closest and strongest allies, and you are still used as a benefit for one of the people running for office.
Supposed to be a positive thing.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a good thing.
Yeah.
So now you're reversing the American values that we've had for years.
Right.
I think that's going to help you win the presidency, which is, I mean, it's upside down. It would never have happened just a few years ago.
It seems like such lunacy, so much of what they do. You obviously have been such a strong advocate for the Jewish community, and we're so proud of everything you've done. So I want to get your thoughts on this. Christians United for Israel claimed that anti-Semitism is evil and it damns the soul. I mean, that's pretty powerful.
Yeah, I mean, all hate damns the soul and is evil. We know that. People come here to avoid that hate, to escape that hate. My own parents and grandparents came here to escape anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's so prevalent, even today, in all parts of our world, and we can't even, respect the fact that we have the opposite of that here. We have this sanctuary here. People still try, to feel the need to go more left and see how far they can push it when they know that this is the reason people come here and this is the best thing that we have about the United States of America. Right. It's unfortunate, and if you have any hate in your heart at all, you're in the wrong country. It's that simple.
I mean, none of us should hate anyone based on religion. The good news is that there is an advocate for the Jewish people in this country, all across the world. The president has been very outspoken about the fight against anti-Semitism. I want to take a look at this.
As president, protecting religious freedom is one of my highest priorities and always has been. In this year's ministerial, Secretary Pompeo announced plans to create the International Religious Freedom Alliance, an alliance of like-minded nations devoted to confronting religious persecution all around the world. I've appointed a special envoy to monitor and combat anti-Semitism.
So, Liz, I mean, I think it would be hard to argue that we've ever seen a president, anyone in charge of this country who has been so supportive of the Jewish people. he's really a champion in so many ways. What's the reaction from the Jewish community, from people that you know?
I mean, they're extremely grateful, honestly. The fact that we've asked for things and we've expected them from presidents who have promised them all along the way, and he's the only one that's delivered.
Yes.
That's a huge part of it. And I think even more importantly, it's deeper than just anti-Semitism. He is fighting for all these minorities that have been forgotten by the Dems for decades now. They seem to only care about them when there's election coming up and they need their votes.
Yeah.
And he's proven in his short time in office that actions mean a hell of a lot more than empty promises.
Yeah, that's true. And he's delivered on so many of those promises. And to your point, one of those being moving the American embassy in Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, which I know meant so much to Jews in America, to the people of Israel, all across the board. But the fact still remains that the vast majority of Jewish people in America are Democrats. And you started a movement, the Exodus movement, to try and change that, because you, I think, took such a strong stand, and it's so impressive to see what you've done, by the way. Really, really incredible. What has been the reaction that you've gotten from people who were lifelong Democrats? Why have they now awakened in a way, and why are they now supporting this president?
Like I said, there have been promises that have been made for years. I mean, people came here because of these promises, and Democrats have relied on the words of leaders that came way before half of them were even alive to kind of keep this vote. And they're slowly realizing that we were voting for something that wasn't happening. And when someone's been in office for such a short time and has fought back despite everyone telling him you couldn't do these things, and has stood up for us when everyone else claimed they would and did the opposite, you owe him your vote. You know, that's just kind of the way it is.
So we're obviously leading into an election year. We are less than a year away, I can't believe it, from the election in 2020. We all have a lot of work to do, and I know you're not going to stop working. So how are you appealing to people out there, to Democrats, to say maybe you should come over and join us on Team Trump? Maybe you want to take a second look. What is your strategy?
I think it's simple. Like, if you ask people if they want a secure and safe country, if you ask people if they want to make sure there is food on the table for their kids every single night, and you ask people if they want the person in the White House to have their best interest at heart and America's best interest at heart, it's simple. Your vote belongs to Donald Trump.
Isn't it that simple?
Shouldn't
it be that easy?
Yes.
Well, that's what we feel at the campaign as well. And I think there are so many people out there who every day are waking up, and it's movements like yours that really encourage people to take a second look at this president. So we want to say thank you for all that you do. You're incredible out there. Keep up the great work, and thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
The Democrats are indeed the party of religious bigotry. That's why the solution for religious freedom in 2020 is President Donald Trump. That's the real news for today. If you'd like to get involved with Team Trump, go to donaldjtrump.com or text Trump to 88022 today and become part of our winning team in 2020. I'm Laura Trump from Studio 45 at Trump Tower in New York City. Thanks for joining us, everybody.